Hello and welcome to another episode of Draw Cartoons. This time we're going to be tackling one of my favorite cartoon characters ever, Finn from Adventure Time. I'm really excited about covering this one because I love the show and Finn is super easy and fun to draw. So grab your usual drawing equipment and let's get started. Alright, so as usual we're going to start with a wire mesh of the characters. So let's start by drawing just very lightly with your pencil a bit of a rectangle, and it's going to be taller than it is wide. And maybe already you can kind of see the shape of Finn developing. If not, don't worry, you'll see it soon, I assure you. And just draw a line across here, because that's going to be where his head goes, this bit here that I'm tracing with my mouse or my pen, and this is going to be his body. Okay, so let's just connect him to the ground next. So do you want to just draw two really faint lines down? And they can kind of bend any way you want because his legs are kind of spaghetti-like. You don't have to worry too much about drawing a knee or anything in his case. Okay, so just make sure they have a bit of length to them. And as I say, you're quite free to curve them any way you want. Just going to lightly sketch in the top of his shoes because they're just little white donuts that kind of go around his ankles. And then just going to draw one foot pointing our way. Okay. Can you see how I've done that? It's ever so slightly past us, but it might take a few tries to get it that way. Feel free to keep experimenting with the feet and just get them in a way that you like. And this other foot's going to be pointing kind of that way. Okay. Alright, so let's just make sure we've got the shape of the legs right there. And we can kind of curve the hips in like that. Just make sure we have a line here connecting the two. So now we've got to point to, well, where his shorts beginning. Let's kind of draw a line here. That's where I think his shorts are going to start. Okay, so now we can really see we've got really clear, defined sections. We've got his head here, we've got his torso, his body here, and everything here is his legs. Okay. Now you can just draw in the the top of the part where the legs come out of the shorts, just here. There we go. Nice and easy, that bit. And don't forget to just kind of go around lightly with your pencil and add shape to places where you think you need it. So I'm going to draw him with one hand on his hip, kind of like this, just lightly tracing the shape of how the hand's going to be, or the arm, sorry. And the other arm's going to kind of be outstretched, as if he's kind of waving to someone or just gesturing. Okay, so now we've got those kind of fleshed out a little bit. Let's actually start drawing the arms in. So we're just drawing like kind of thick noodles here. That's the way a lot of cartoon arms are drawn. Makes it really easy for the animators to keep drawing them when they're like that. That's why you see them so often like that. Also makes them easy for us to draw, really. Okay, so just a sleeve there, just above where the elbow is, just kind of halfway through his bicep. And don't worry too much about the hand. Might take a couple of tries. Hands are always tricky, but just draw it kind of placed sideways on, because that's his thumb here, and here are the rest of his fingers kind of just resting on his hip like that. Okay, kind of a sassy pose, really. And let's draw this other arm just kind of curving up. I mean, really, you can do whatever you want with these arms. You can have them in any pose you want. I'm just going for this pose because I figured it'd be kind of fun to draw. Maybe I've drawn that a bit thick, so I'm just going to get my eraser. And I'm just going to erase that away very carefully. Okay? So I encourage you to do this too if you see any mistakes in your own drawing, like, you know, once you've actually drawn it, and then kind of take a step back and look at it and go, oh yeah, that doesn't really look right, you know, I could do better. So whenever you see that, I really do encourage you to kind of just go back and make any changes that you can. And that's like a really quick way of learning, because already you've been able to see that there's something wrong with your drawing and you've gone back to fix it. And that's all learning really is. It's kind of noticing when you've done it wrong and going back. So I just did the fingers on the end here. Again, speaking of errors, this thumb is a bit too small. Just going to rub a little bit away and make the thumb a bit thicker, okay? As long as you can see what I'm doing there. And now finally going to draw the face. Now I have done this in a kind of an odd order. I normally draw the head first, but in Finn's case I actually think it's more fun and a little bit easier as well to just kind of give everything else a shape before I tackle his face. So okay, so be careful not to draw a total circle here. It's actually a bit of a stretched circle, an oval. It's a bit wider than it is tall. So let's draw an oval in here. Okay, that's where his little hat or his mask, his balaclava opens up. And Finn has the the simplest face in the world. It's just like two dots and a line. So you can really play around with the expression on this one, but I'm just going to go for his normal two eyes, and they're kind of spaced out like that. What we normally do is our little line of symmetry that goes down the middle. Okay, I didn't do it this time. That's kind of my mistake, but it's never too late to do that if you need help judging how far away the eyes should be from each other. So you can see the distance between there and there, and there and there is more or less the same. So draw that if it helps you, and that also helps you to get your mouth quite central as well. Like with that line, I can tell where the middle of the head is and how long each side of the mouth should be. Okay, so I'm gonna draw him like kind of like happy with his mouth open, like he's about to say something, or maybe he is saying something. Okay, I'm just gonna shade in that bit above his tongue. I keep doing really heavy strokes here. Okay, so as you can see, that's his tongue, that's the back of the mouth. And then I'm just gonna do the little, he's got like little ears on his balaclava, so let's just get those in. I could have done those earlier, but I mean, it's up to you the order that you choose to draw things, really. It really is down to the individual artist, but it's just the way I've drawn it this time. Sometimes I may draw things in a different order, but just whatever kind of comes to you, like, oh, I'll draw this next. Because the main idea is keeping everything as fun as possible. If you're not really enjoying drawing it, why are you drawing it, you know? So just keep making sure that you draw the bit that you're going to really enjoy next, and then maybe the mood will strike you to draw the arms next, who knows. So finally, Finn is never without his backpack, or rarely without his backpack, so let's just draw the handles in here, just a little bit firmer over the other lines. And now I'm going to get my eraser out, and I'm just going to kind of rub away the parts that we wouldn't be able to see behind the strap of the backpack here, okay? Just be really careful there. You don't want to rub out any of your main lines, but if you do, don't worry, just draw them again. And there's a line here, because the top half of his backpack is a brighter color, and that applies to the strap too. So just drawing the actual backpack behind him now. Now this might be quite tricky for you. I don't really know what your drawing experience is like, but it's kind of a sense of perspective. You have to kind of understand how that's going to look when it's behind him. So just kind of play around with it, and you know, if it doesn't look right, don't worry. Just keep trying until you get one that you really like the look of. And let's not forget the other strap that goes on this side. So it's just a little semicircle peeking out, and it has to kind of cover his arm like that. Okay, and I'm just going to get my rubber and rub away the part of the arm that we wouldn't be able to see behind the strap. Just going to get my pencil and clean things up a bit. Okay, so this isn't finished. Obviously need to kind of just go around and tidy things up now, and press harder over the lines you want to keep. So here, this is quite faint here, so I'm just going to press a little bit harder with my pencil and make it look a little better. You know, I'm looking at that line and going, yeah, I'm confident that that's what I want to go for. So I'm just going to do that with all of my lines now that are a bit faint. Again, here this is a bit messy, so just going to tidy this up. If you're just doing a sketch like I am, then this, I feel, is necessary for making the drawing kind of look its best. Because if you kind of leave it a bit messy can look good, it can really work. But for cartoons, usually not. You want to kind of tidy them up just a little bit. So I'm just kind of erasing away the thicker lines there that I don't really need. And I can get rid of my line of symmetry now, so just going over that with a rubber. All these guidelines down here, just rubbing them out. Okay, so take your time and just make sure that you erase things properly. I mean, I'm probably erasing quite quickly because I am using a computer and I'm quite used to rubbing out by now, so I'm just going to make sure those shorts look right. So just pressing a little bit harder on those lines I really like, and the lines that I think, yeah, you know, I don't need to change those anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and flesh them out, kind of, you know, make them more permanent. Okay. So I didn't really finish the shoes before, but that's okay. Because you can always go back and change things in your drawing. It's never too late, unless you've put it in a frame and it's somehow stuck in there or whatever. But it's 99% of the time, it's never too late to go back and change something that you're not particularly happy with in your drawing, as long as you're working with a pencil. With a pen, obviously, much more permanent, a little bit more tricky. Okay, so just a bit more tidying up. I've left a few sketch marks around here. Okay. And there we are, we're nearly there. And there is my sketch of Finn. So I'm going to go ahead and ink this. I'll show you the finished product in just a moment. So here's the finished product. If you're happy with your sketch and you're feeling brave enough, then why not finalize it with a pen and throw in some colour too? And don't worry if your drawing didn't quite turn out how you wanted it to. It's all part of learning, and I failed to draw more new things than I can even count anymore. So on that note though, I'd love to see your artwork of Finn, so go ahead and link your own drawings in the comments below, and I might feature it in the next video. As always, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a tutorial. Thanks for watching.